one in September from the 17th to the 24th, and this next December 2011, and they want us to be a part of it, and how they're going to start off the first day in the UN Plaza, because that's where their headquarters is, and then they're going to cross the river into New Jersey, and we had an opportunity to share our recent success in Somerset, New Jersey, with our convention, and I'm like, yeah, right, they already know that. That's probably why we was there in the White House. I mean, you never know, because they're going right back to New Jersey with this big international program. So as we're there, and people are coming in during this break, when the break, I'm telling you, it was like a receiving line of the people that wanted to meet and greet W.D. Mohammed to say. I'm telling you, they just wanted to have an audience with him, and greet him, and give him salams. And people telling me, I'm saying, I was in Syria with Imam Mohammed. I mean, you know, people coming up telling about how they traveled and been with Imam all over the world. It was so amazing to see the love and the respect. And once Wallace introduced himself at the International Trustees meeting, the Secretary General went on to say, he said, we're very happy to have you here. He says, as a matter of fact, your father was one of the founding presidents of this organization. So then the lights really came on. We really understood how much love they have for the Imam and how much love they have for you. You'd be so surprised, my brothers and sisters, the love that they have for this community and the respect. And especially when Wallace had mentioned Elijah Muhammad, you have those who were there, my age and more, that remember that. They remember how Elijah Muhammad addressed the world and some of the bad things that was going on, how he addressed some of the people. Those people remember that. And they remember Elijah Muhammad died a peaceful death. So did his son. And here we are today. And they all got nerves and got esteem because of some of the language of Elijah Muhammad. And I would cite you to the president of Venezuela a couple of years ago when he was at the UN. When he followed Bush. He said, the devil was here at the podium yesterday. He said, you can still smell the salt. Okay, now this is the president of a nation. Now, you know where he got that language from. Just to show you, and that's what I was thinking about. I'm sitting there thinking about Theodore Shabazz, Les Muhammad, Felix Bilal, Imam Ali Rashid, Anna Najib, Mark Hassan, some of the pioneers. Here's one still here with us, John Abdul Haq, who mentored me and took me under my wings when I came in as a youngster in the 20s, didn't know which way was up. And they said, no, son, don't do this, stay away from that, go this way. Baby, you don't want to be around that. I thank Allah for them, because I bear witness that their life and their death was all for Allah. And I've seen them until their janazah. So I was like, I'm here for them as well. I'm so thankful to Allah that had enough sense to hold on to the rope and continue this effort, and my family and children as well. After the break, I'm introducing people because they used to seeing me with Imam Muhammad as security. So they familiar with me. And they're like, oh, it's another nigga brother. I'm saying, I'm here with Imam W. Muhammad's son. Wallace just said, whoa, and they wanted to meet him. In fact, Brother Muhammad al-Sanusi with Islam, when I saw him, we greeted, and I said, Imam Muhammad's son, W.D. Muhammad's second. So he said, really, brother? He said, look at my notes. He was one of the keynote speakers for the second part. They had 4 keynote speakers along with some of the government people. He said, look at my notes, brother. He said, in his opening paragraph of his talk, he was recognizing Imam W.D. Muhammad for making all this possible. Okay? And you want to know why they messing with Obama now? And you know, that's one of the things Imam Muhammad taught us about. Rabbi al-Alameen, Lord of all the worlds, Lord of all the systems of knowledge. These are systems. You know what I mean? You got your circulatory system, your respiratory system, your nervous system, the Dewey Decimal System, all the way to the solar system. Well, politics is a system too. Anybody got some understanding, if they've been watching, they know that Obama pretty much saved capitalism. He saved the automobile industry. He provided health care for people who never would have had it. They've been trying to do it for 100 years. But if you listen to the pundits, oh, he done messed up. Because it's a system. You get hung up in that system and forget what Imam told us. You got to read between the lines and look beneath the surface. You know? But it was so wonderful to hear these people. I mean, all crossroads of the federal government, agriculture, everything was there. Because they got the word from the president, I want you to be dealing with these grassroots people, because Obama's observation is that there is the voice of the faith-based groups and organizations is more credible and more reliable than any other of the voices. That's the reality of it. And it's just like these folks, you see him, he'll give a 30-minute speech on TV, and they give you 3 or 4 hours of telling you what he really meant. So if you don't listen and understand, this is amazing how they do this stuff, and you really understand who controls that. But we did that 12 to 5, then we broke, and then we went to the embassy. And that was another experience. Here we are at the Royal Embassy of Saudi Arabia, and I mean, it must have been 15, 16 ambassadors there, and one ambassador from Finland. Okay, from Finland. And we looked up and we said, where's Shaker? Well, this sister, or Finland, you know, European American, you know, Caucasian woman, she had it. Good night, 30, we know the reception lasted about 45 minutes. Where's Shaker? She had it. And we said later, well, what was going on over there at Shaker? He said, man, she asked me, how did I come into the faith? And he said, he started off by telling me I was a poor African American on the bottom. And this all, and she just was so mesmerized by his story of where he came from and where he is today. She, you know, it's so amazing that we have friends everywhere and we don't even realize it. And as we were meeting and greeting people, and a lot of the ones who knew me from being with Imam, they come to me and I'm like, I'm here with Imam Muhammad's son, Deputy Muhammad II. Oh my goodness! In fact, Saeed, who is the now national director of ISNA's outreach program, and when I said, I'm here with Wallace a second, he was like, oh, and he looked over at Wallace and he was running to him to greet him. He said, I see your light. He said, I see your father's likeness. He says, finally the real deal. And alhamdulillah. And you know, the other people in the room, these dignitaries, they're watching this. They're looking at all this stuff. And then, you know, we had, each of us had the opportunity to shake the hands of the ambassador from Saudi Arabia, who's very close to the king, who, when I met him, when he came out to open King Fahd Mosque in L.A., or Culver City, a suburb of L.A., he was the crown prince. Now, the king of Saudi Arabia, I met him when he was the crown prince. He wasn't there, but the ambassador was there. So it was a wonderful trip. The Japanese delegation, and this guy speaking all Japanese, he had some interpreters there. But when he was addressing the body at the International Trustees, and he's speaking straight Japanese, but you know his expression, and you know how Imam taught us how to deal with the higher self. The higher self, you know, he said you don't even have to open your mouth and physically say nothing. But the higher self, you can communicate to this brother over here, just your higher self connect. And you don't have to open your mouth. And when this brother was teaching, you could hear and feel him. And he went on to boast to say that we have 40 trustees in Japan alone. Now, I'm talking, these are people that raise megabucks, a lot of money to do with the environment, with poverty, women live, that type of thing, children, the future and outlook for children. Japan, most of these countries just have one trustee, international trustees as part of this organization. Japan alone has 40 trustees, besides their big guy. And their big guy, when we went to dinner that night and we were at the embassy, we ended up at the same table with him. And Wallace was sitting right next to him, and believe me, throughout the whole dinner, they had a lengthy dialogue, nonstop, with his interpreter. That's how the connection was. And I had, at one point, an opportunity to interject something, and I just said, I told him through his interpreter, I said, I can feel your spirit. I can feel your spirit. And I said, this great work you're doing, I said, I know it has to be because of the history of your people. When folks had an A-bomb dropped on them. You know what I mean? Yes. I mean, they climbed up out of that. Yes. And now, I mean, they're one of the biggest contributors to this cause for peace. You know they're sincere. So we went on the next day. We stayed there for Juma. And we were able to sit there and hear the khutbah of Talib Sharif, who's the new Imam of Masjid Muhammad in D.C. And his khutbah was on faith and trust and community life. So I just was still overwhelmed. I'm still pinching myself about this trip to D.C. and being in the White House. I'm telling you, the thing is, what I looked and came away from that, because when we go to Juma, here this Imam is sent using the same language. I just came to the conclusion, and I'm a witness bearer to the fact that Allah is definitely with this community and has blessed this community. And we have friends in high places, brothers and sisters. And they step out, they still get out and defend us and do things on our behalf.